It's time for Giants Kickoff.
The Giants head down deep in the heart of Texas this week, looking to secure their first victory of the season and the first under new head coach Pat Shurmur. And they face a Houston Texans squad that's also winless after 2 games.
Didn't make enough plays. So here we are. We're 0-2. We just got to get back to work and get ready to play Houston.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tina Cervasio, and welcome to our NFL Week 3 edition of Giants Kickoff as the New York Football Giants prepare to take on the AFC's Houston Texans.
I'm Russ Salzberg. Thanks for joining us, folks. Things haven't exactly gotten off to what you would say a roaring start for the Big Blue, but they hope a second game in Texas within a week will do the trick, and you can catch all the action from tomorrow's matchup, Giants-Texans, from NRG Stadium at 1 p.m. only on Fox 5.
A pair of 0-2 teams facing off tomorrow, and in the games they've lost, both the Giants and Texans have been decided by a touchdown or less. Now, it's a matchup of the NFC versus the AFC, so here's more on the Week 3 matchup in our Game Day preview.
Game Day preview, brought to you by Spectrum.
I think we're close on things. It's just, yeah, and hey, you're going against, good players, and they're going to make plays sometimes, and that's fine. When there's opportunities and when things should be picked up or guys should be going certain ways, you got to do those things to give yourself an opportunity to make those plays when they can be there.
Much of the team's offensive woes have been focused on the guys up front who gave up 6 sacks to the Cowboys. Add that to the loss of starting center John Jalapeno to a fractured leg and ankle, and things don't get any easier for the men in the trenches.
Our mindset is, each guy is looking at themselves. What can they do better? If we can get exponentially better at one thing, it's going to make us better as a whole and help our offense.
The inconsistent play of the offense as a whole and their lack of rhythm and in-game mistakes have led to the unit's inability to break the big play.
I think we know we're a much better team than that. I think we know we're so close. In this locker room, no one's overreacting. Obviously, I'm active on social media, so I think a lot of people outside of his locker room and outside his building is overreacting, and we are aware that 0-2 is not a great start, but it's not the worst thing possible.
Until you get into the heat of battle and you know how a player is going to be when, if it's tough, if it's that, we're still finding each other, finding ourselves as a team. I think we know what we want to be. It's just about working harder to achieve that goal.
It could be a number of things. You can't just pinpoint one. But like I said, we're gonna correct these mistakes and move forward.
As for the defense, job one this week is containing the many talents of Deshaun Watson and the league's top-ranked rushing offense.
Exposed with his legs, his arm, his vision, escaping the pocket and giving his guys downfield more time to be able to throw the ball and get open so he could catch it. He has all those techniques, and that's something we got to cover.
One thing about this group, at 0-2, they're sticking together and believe better things are ahead.
Those last games are in the trash. There's nothing we can do about it. And in the past, the film's been watched, and we got Houston this week, so not worry about it. Just worry about Houston.
Once you get one win, it can start clicking for you, and everything can turn around the season. So we got to continue to have that mindset to continue to get better and continue to work.
All right, up next, I had a chance to talk with the man who draws up that Big Blue game plan, that, of course, being Giants head coach Pat Shurmur. As my old friend Yogi Berra once said, it gets late kind of early around here. Pat, your season's just 2 games old. But is it getting kind of late early for your Giants?
No, it's important that we do what we can to beat Houston. We don't feel that way, and teams don't feel that way. It's a long season. You keep playing. You never know what's going to happen in the end, and we certainly are putting all our efforts into beating Houston.
This is the NFL. Criticism comes with the territory, as you know, but some of your guys, Eli and the offensive line in particular, are taking a beating. Fair or not, are you concerned about morale staying up in that locker room?
Not at all. I think we kind of keep that noise away, and we worry about doing what we can to play better football. And, certainly we could have blocked them better the other night. That affects a lot of things. And what's important is that you just improve and keep going. You made the point, it's early, and this is new for a lot of guys. And we got a new group, and I think there were a lot of things that were good the other night. And, we just got to build on that.
One way to get some positive vibes, obviously, is to get a win. So what's the key to beating the Texans?
Well, I think we got to play better all around. You know, I thought we did some good things on defense. You know, we've kept the points down, which is important. You know, when we turned the ball over the other night, we didn't let them score a touchdown. And so there's some good stuff there. The special teams has been good. And at times we've moved the ball on offense. So what's important is to move it consistently and put it in the end zone.
You lose your center, John Halapio, for the season. How difficult does that make fixing your offensive line woes?
Well, if we didn't have backups in place that we, felt good about, then it would be a problem. But we've got guys on the roster that we feel good about. We're going to put Greco in there and get him going.
Has this season, Pat, been a head-scratcher for you? Because it certainly has been for me.
I think what's important is you don't overreact. And I think, our players, our coaches, we do this because we enjoy the competitive spirit of trying to go out each week and win. And if you do that, things usually work out in the end.
Still to come on Giants Kickoff. Russ sits down with linebacker Connor Barwin, who shares how he overcame a personal disability to make it in the NFL. Plus, he tells Russ what it's like returning to Houston and playing against the team that originally drafted him. Then, our Giants insider Paul Dottino breaks down issues with the O-line, defensive rush, and tells Tina what it'll take to get win number 1 against the Texans. Straight ahead. Giants Kickoff brought to you by Adorama, official electronics retailer of the Giants.
I'm Landon Collins, and you're watching Giants Kickoff on Fox 5.
Following the Giants' Sunday night loss to the Cowboys, defensive captain there, Landon Collins, tweeted, "We will figure this out. No worries. We are too good of a team and family. Hashtag we are one." And up next, one of the guys expected to help the Big Blue play as one on the defensive side of the ball. He's a veteran linebacker who signed a 2-year deal as a free agent this past offseason. The Giants, number 53, Connor Barwin, the focus of this week's player profile. Connor, back in training camp, I heard you say you came here as a free agent because you liked the organization and the Giants gave you a good chance to win. Got any second thoughts, really?
No second thoughts. I'm still really happy to be here. It's still the New York Giants. Obviously, we're not where we want to be after 2 games, but we've got 16 games, and we have to find a way to get our first win this week, and that's all that really matters.
The defense thus far has been playing a lot better than the offense. Is the team united together, in particular in the locker room?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I've been doing this for a while now, and I know you just got to worry about your side of the ball. And even on that side, you really got to worry about yourself. And the other side and other people will get their jobs right.
You just missed a big interception last week. Now, you were a basketball player for 2 years at the University of Cincinnati. I sensed those skills came into play with that almost interception.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little basketball carryover, kind of those instincts, and seeing getting in the passing lane is how you would say it in basketball. Would have been a huge difference in the game if we could get that turnover. And that's one thing, you talk about the offense, but on the defensive side of the ball, we've played well at times, but we need to take the ball away.
Connor, you're deaf in one ear. I believe you were born that way. Growing up and competing at the high level that you compete at, has that ever been a hindrance, and did you have to compensate?
Yeah, it was a little. I mean, I had to do a bunch of surgery when I was a kid, but I was so young, you just did it. I mean, the only real issue now is when we play in a stadium when we play at home and it's really loud and we're trying to communicate on defense. But again, I've just adjusted, and I play with a lot of hand signals, and that's just the way I've learned to do things.
You're playing in Houston this week. You started your career, your first 4 years were with the Texans. Does that get you a little revved up going back?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think my biggest motivation is just playing well for this team and helping this team get our first victory of the season because of how important that is. But obviously, I started in Houston. I'm thankful that I was drafted there. But then they let me go after my 4 years. So you always like to show them what they missed out at when you go back and play them.
Russ, that's an incredible story about his hearing. The fact that he overcame that disability to play in the NFL, it's really inspiring.
Solid guy.
All right, up next, I sat down with Paul Dottino, the Giants beat reporter for WFAN Radio and our Giants insider. Paul, against the Dallas Cowboys, obviously the Giants had a lot of problems on the offensive side of the ball, particularly with the guys up front and the offensive line. What can they do to fix some of those problems?
Well, the big problems, to be honest with you, Tina, had to do with assignment football. It looked like the alignments were okay, but the assignments were being busted. That means more mental errors than physical errors. So they've got to get their homework and their film work done during the week to make sure they're on par.
In both of these games now, we've seen slow starts as well as a lack of rhythm to their offense. Why is that?
I see a team that right now doesn't seem to have meshed quite as quickly as they wanted to. Because when you mesh physically, emotionally, and mentally, you get a team that's firing on all cylinders. You're right, the Giants to this point are not firing.
On the defensive side of the ball, the lack of pressure has been evident. Why is that?
Well, it would help if Olivier Vernon was back in the lineup, you see, because he is their premier pass rusher. And you're not going to send a heavy blitz package if you don't have your #1 pass rushing threat in the lineup. That's got to be the first order of business.
Now, Odell Beckham Jr. was shut down for the most part against the Cowboys. Is there a reason for concern there?
Well, Odell didn't get a lot of targets, and everybody complained about he got too many targets against Jacksonville. In week 2, it was too many targets to Saquon Barkley. But I will say they do need to be more diversified and get guys like Shepard and Ingram involved as well.
And with all those touches, Saquon Barkley was getting out of the backfield. Is there concern they're going to Barkley too much in those situations and then not looking for the downfield play?
It looked to me like Eli was forced to go to those short plays to Barkley. You know, if the long ball isn't there, do you want him to force it and get intercepted? That's not going to help anybody either.
What will it take for the Giants to get their first win of the season against the Texans?
It's going to take much cleaner football than what they've played in the first 2 games because they've been too sloppy in too many areas, whether it be defending the edge or not getting the proper blitz pickups. If they don't do those 2 things right, they're not going to win.
Still to come on Giants Kickoff, a member of the Big Blue dealing with a critical situation off the field, while also giving his all weekly as a member of the Football Giants. Plus, on a lighter note, we test members of the Big Blue on their knowledge of the NFL team that calls Houston home. Our trivia challenge, Know Your Foe, is still ahead.
I'm Saquon Barkley, running back for the New York Giants, and you're watching Giants Kickoff on Fox 5.
You could go for 300 yards and have 5 touchdowns, and it's great, and like you lose, and there's no feeling. It's like it's not a good feeling. Like, yeah, okay, you had a good game, but you still lost. Like, I hate losing, so it's just more about winning.
I like that. The only thing Odell or anybody else should have on their minds is win, baby, win, period. And you can catch all the action from this weekend's game, Giants-Texans, from NRG Stadium tomorrow at 1 p.m. only on Fox 5.
Well, Russ, game day is generally the most important day of the week for NFL players. But one member of the Big Blue cherishes every day on the field equally. You see, as part of the Giants practice squad, Grant Haley isn't only fighting for his NFL existence every week, he's also fighting off the field. And that's to aid his ailing mom. Here's more in this week's Giants Among Us.
He's a Giants rookie who hails from Penn State. Not that rookie, but one of Saquon Barkley's very best friends, former Nittany Lions captain Grant Haley.
Me and Saquon were roommates in college, and then we've been rooming in the hotels this year right now. And, you know, he's a great guy, a great friend I could come and talk to anytime.
While Barkley was drafted 2nd overall, Haley was signed to the practice squad after fighting for a roster spot.
Coach Strummer said, you know, we got a competitive room. You know, you would love to keep it every single guy, but, you know, it doesn't work like that in this business.
While his mother is fighting for her life.
It's the disease that Walter Payton had.
Over 6 years ago, Dr. Carla Neal Haley was diagnosed with primary sclerosing cholangitis, or PSC, a chronic liver disease, and now she's on a living liver donor list. But this hasn't stopped Dr. Neal Haley from working every day as a pediatrician and doctor of internal medicine near Atlanta.
That mindset is, stuck with me and my brothers and sisters that my parents have gave us.
Haley's mother isn't the only doctor in the family. Grant's father, Dr. Leon Haley Jr., is currently the dean of the University of Florida College of Medicine. Family and friends have set up a Facebook page, Liver for Carla, and an email, donatelive-liver@gmail.com. It's all in search of a potential donor with type A or O blood.
When you have this surgery, you got to be out for a certain amount of time.
Haley was signed by the Giants as a rookie free agent in May, and it's on the football field where he finds solace during this time.
After practice and before games, I text my mom, text my family, and they want me to focus on what's important to me right now and just have the faith in God that everything will take care of itself.
Well, Grant Haley is truly a great young man and son, sharing his personal story with the hope his mom can find a living liver donor. Again, for more information, you can go to the Facebook page, Liver for Carla.
And you know what? It really does. It's a cliche, but it does put life in perspective. We hear it far too often.
It does. He's just so grateful for his mom's life, and he's going to keep fighting for his mom's life.
Still to come on Giants Kickoff, Tina and Russ with their picks for this week's crucial matchup with the Texans. Plus, it's trivia time, Giants Kickoff style. Which members of the Big Blue will have the answers?
You good with geography? Not really.
Okay, well, here's a test for you.
Know Your Foe is straight ahead. Giants Kickoff brought to you by Ticketmaster and the NFL Ticket Exchange, the only official ticket exchange of the NFL.
Hi, I'm Red Ellison. I'm a tight end for the New York Giants. You're watching Giants Kickoff on Fox 5.
Kept games close, been into the fourth quarter. We just now, we got to, get a little faster start, get a lead, do some things a little bit better, and we'll get those opportunities to score more points.
Sounds good, Eli, but right now it's time once again to challenge members of the Big Blue on their knowledge of this week's opponent, the Houston Texans. That being the case, I now give you Know Your Foe.
Know Your Foe, brought to you by your Tri-State BMW centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
The Texans play their home games in which facility? A, the
NRG Stadium.
Look at you. True or false? The Texans, in their very first game back in 2002, beat the Cowboys. True or false?
Very first game?
2002.
2002? Oh, true.
True it is.
I knew that one.
Texans' current head coach is A, Gary Kubiak, B, Bum Phillips, or C, Bill O'Brien.
Billy O.
Billy O. The capital of Texas is A, Houston, B, Dallas, C, Austin, or D, Fort Worth.
C, Austin.
As Giants Hall of Famer and now TV star Michael Strahan calls Houston his hometown. True or false?
Say false. It's true.
True it is. His parents still live there. The state bird of Texas is A, the northern mockingbird, B, the southern swallow sacker, or C, the western hootin' owl.
I'm going to go with C.
I'll go with A. What was A?
The northern mockingbird. Country singer George Strait famously sang, "All my what live in Texas." A,
X's.
X's. The official mascot of the Houston Texans is A, Lone Star Sally, B, Toro the Bull, or C, Big Tex Salzy.
C, Big Tex Salzy.
Let's go with C.
Big Tex Salzy?
Big Tex Salzy.
No, I'm Salzy. Okay. A.
Toro.
My goodness.
Killed it.
Know Your Foe.
I'm going to call you Big Tex Salzy from now on.
Just make sure you do. That's the new moniker.
All right, Big Tex Salzy, want to do our picks?
Let's do them.
All right, so for week 3, I do think that Deshaun Watson will be the difference maker. So unfortunately, that means I like the Texans Texans at home over the Giants, 21-17 the final score.
I'm going to disagree, partner, for the simple reason defense hasn't been the problem. It's been the offense, and I believe this week will be a wake-up call. That being the case, I've got the Giants winning it by the score of 24-16, your final. And you can watch all the game action, folks, tomorrow. Fox 5 beginning for you at 1 p.m. And that, folks, is a wrap on our NFL Week 3 edition of Giants Kickoff. For our entire Giants Kickoff crew here, I'm Russ Salzberg.
And I'm Tina Cervasio. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and have a great Giants football Sunday.